Hello, my stamping friends, and today I am doing another Peekaboo example card. This one is a design in progress, and so I will do a video on how I actually made it step by step in a little bit, but I'm so excited how this came out. I had to show you right away. So I did my Tuesday tip. I accidentally posted it yesterday, so this one's just kind of a freebie. So I love the Peekaboo Farm. I love how these stamps come out. And since I'm a horsey girl, or used to be a horsey girl, it had a horse, so I had to get it. And so here's the card that I made, and I am just in love with how it came out. So I started with an 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Had a little oopsie here, I'll have to fix that. And then I took a piece of Mary Merlot, and I cut it to about 4.25 by just shy of 5.5. I wanted just a really small, thin, like pinstripe border around the edge, and you can do however you want. And that's in the Mary Merlot. Then I took another piece of Mary Merlot, and I cut it to 3.5 by 5 inches. And I ran it through, not that one. I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss folder. And so it has these lines on it for like wood grain. So I took a piece of the Mary Merlot and I ran it through. And then I realized that my wood grain was going the wrong way. So you want to pay attention to the wood grain lines when you go to use your die. I wanted my wood grains to go this way. And then it was kind of plain. Where's my plain one? Oh, here's my plain one. So it just, this is the one that I did the other way too. I did 2 of them that way. But it's just kind of plain. And I wanted to step it up just a little bit. So what I did was I took my soft suede, opened it up, and in here you have a bumpy side and a smooth side. So this is the embossed side, this is the other side. So I took my stamp, opened it up, and just rubbed it all over the top of the bumpy card. And then you'll see that there's a line right on here. So I just lined up my card this way because I want my wood grain to go up and down, and I lined it up on that little black line so that way you know that you get them straight. Ran it through my cut and emboss machine, die cut machine, and it comes out looking like this, like it's like paneled, like it has, you know, dirt and it's been weathered, and I really liked that look. And you don't need to put a lot on there. I put a little bit too much and it got on the actual wood, but that's okay too. I just love this card. So then I had this piece that was 3.5 by 5. So I measured up 1 3/4 and cut in 2.5 inches. Well, when I went to score it from here to here, I accidentally used my cutting blade and I cut it. You'll want to score it, and then it'll be even over here. So because I cut it and I had this little piece out, I just measured in 1/2 inch, scored it, folded over, and then glued it to the back. And now it opens just fine. It doesn't go quite to the edge, but if somebody complains about that, they are not your friend. There are no Stampin' Police. So then next I took another piece of my Mary Merlot and I cut it in 1/4 inch increments, and I made 4 just to be on the safe side that I'd have enough. And then I laid them down here. So since this is my sample card, or I'm in the design making of it, this one I was going to do mitered corners on all the corners, and it was just a little hard for me. Even in my quilting, I have a hard time with mitered corners. So instead what I did was on this side, you can see I did from corner to corner, and then I did the edge, and then laid this piece on top. If you wanted, you could do the corners and then lay the whole top piece over from edge to edge. That's up to you. I had a short piece from cutting them off, and I just stuck that in here between this one and this one, and you can't tell the difference. It looks like this just goes over right over the two. So, you know, you can do these however you want. There's the crossbars, the brace bars, and then across the top and across the bottom. I think on the next card, what I'll do is I will take this piece and make it 5.5 inches wide, and then score it in on a 1/4 on each side, and then fold it over and then cut it across the top. So I have this, and now it'll open up this way. So that'll be the next card. See, it's a design in progress. So once I had this open, I knew that I wanted to put something here. So I laid this over top of my original Mary Merlot, and I traced from here to here, and then I used a ruler to even these out. And you could use a rectangle die cut. I didn't have one. For some reason, I have no die cuts that I can find, dies. I have circles, ovals, you name it. I cannot find my squares or rectangles. So I just used my cutting blade on my cutter, and you'll see that it has lines right here and on the edge. So you can just line those up with your trace lines and you get a perfect cut. So I cut that out. And so then I have everything. I glued this piece with the cutout to the top of my white piece, and then I was like, that's kind of bright white, and I didn't want it so bright, so I took my blending pen with, oh, that one says Indian Evergreen, but I used soft suede, and I just went around the inside and then just used the soft suede just to kind of give it not so white in your face background. So then I took the Peekaboo horse, I stamped it out, and I cut it out, and they're really easy to cut out. They don't have a per se die set that cuts out all the little animals, but they are really easy to cut out. Here's the little cow that I cut out, so you can see they're easy peasy. And I cut off, I left the hooves and stuff on it when I cut it out. So when I glued this piece onto the white cardstock, I glued around here and just a little bit in. So this didn't have any glue. So I could slide my cutout horse anywhere that I wanted to in here. So I could put it like over here, I could put it over here. Did I want 1 horse, 2 horse? Did I want to use like the cow and the horse? I hadn't decided yet, or still kind of deciding. So then I stamped it again with just the hooves and cut the hooves out here. And there you go. I have a little label maker because I don't write very well, but you could use any of the labels or any of the tags that come with it. I used my Stampin' Up! Tool and put the little pointy end on it and poked a little hole in it, and I used this pad for that. And then I used the twine, the baker's twine, and it's an essentials pack. It's on page 140 in the catalog. It's crumb cake in white in 10 yards, blackberry or berry, very vanilla, and gray granite in 5 yards. And so I used the I used the crumb cake. And I used my little label maker to cut out a little door thing. And I just haven't figured out yet how I want to hang that on there. But there you go. So this is for my friend Laura, this part. My horse was named Lightfoot R. He was a registered half Arabian that I showed, but he was big. He was also a quarter and a quarter Morgan. And so he was bigger than a normal half Arabian. So he had the nickname Moose. So Laura, here, this is for you because she nicknamed him Moose. She had a little Appaloosa that was like maybe 15 hands, and Mecca was almost 17 hands. So that's for you. I named him Moose. But that's my card. If you have like one of the little wreath stamps, you could put a wreath here. This also has a little bird. You could cut the bird out and stick him here. You could do it as a fun fold and put a message right here. So this is just a really fun card. So I will put the dimensions of this one in the comments down below. So make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. And I hope you like this card. And I will see you soon. Happy stamping!